Hello, it's V here from MHA Communities Winchester. I hope you're well and thank you so much for joining me with the exercises today. I've prepared this video for you to give you a few safety tips as well as some guidelines around using the equipment that you'll be receiving at your home for your home workout. Okay, so first of all we will be using the stress balls. So these little bluey squidgy balls that are very enjoyable to use. Then we'll move on to the resistance band. You might have a different color at home, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to be using the green one today. And the third piece of equipment that we'll be using today will be the spiky balls. We'll be using them both at the same time and also separately. You'll see due course at the further stage of the video. Okay, lovely. Now before we start the exercise, just a few safety tips, and also just to let you know that you are very welcome to do this exercise either standing or seated, whichever way you prefer. I would advise to actually have that chair on side in case you do need to grab hold of it, or sit down for some exercises if you wish to perhaps perform some standing and some seated. It's good to have that variation there. Okay, now also prepare some water on the side if you wish to have a little break to have a drink, wear appropriate footwear, and then if you are using that chair, make sure it has no swivel, it's nice and sturdy, and you keep it keeping safe and comfortable at all times. Okay, throughout the exercises I will be also reminding you about your body posture, which is crucial to have the good effects of the exercise and also to keep you safe. We'll be keeping that back nice and straight, that tummy will be in and tense, and our legs will be approximately hip width apart with our feet pointing forwards on the floor. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, we'll be starting from using our stress balls. I've got these two blueies here. I hope you've got yours ready on side too. We'll be using two balls and then one, and then switching around as you see due course. Right, okay. So first of all, I'm going to be showing the first exercise, which will be simply squeezing the balls just right in front of you. Again, you can do it either standing or seated, whichever way you prefer. Okay, now I'm going to be showing the exercises within a length of about a minute or half a minute at a time, but you please do choose your own repetition. I'm just showing these for you so you've got a good variety there, but you do not have to have the same frequency or repetition as I am. Okay, so this is more of a presentation rather than a program. Keeping that back nice and straight, that tummy in and tense, and keep squeezing. If you like, you can be standing, lovely, or seated. Very good, and keep going. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to switch to one-handed squeeze, and we're going to repeat that for a few times, keeping that back nice and straight, that tummy's in, sitting nice and tall, and keep squeezing. Wonderful. And now switch to the other arm. Very good, and keep going. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to set one ball aside. I'm going to put it on the floor right next to me, and we're going to be using just one ball for this next set of exercises. Now, we're going to be placing the ball in between our hands, back is straight, that tummy's in, and we roll. Very good. You can keep it on your chest level, or if that's proving a little bit too hard, you can just lower it over here. Wonderful. Again, I'm seated now, but you might as well be standing for this, whichever way you prefer. So this is the standing option, and keep rolling. And now you can also do it seated. Wonderful, very good. Okay, now we're going to switch the rolling to going up and down. So roll it along your palm, and also move your hands up towards the ceiling, and then bring it down. Very good. So it's more of a coordination here to start with, and keep rolling, and then come back down. Very good, wonderful. Okay, now slightly different rolling. You're going to roll the ball to the tip of your fingers, create a little bridge, and then come back down. So we're slowing down, practicing this coordination here. Wonderful, and keep going. You can repeat this as many times as you like. I always say a repetition of 6 is quite a good number to aim towards, and then you can have a little stop in between and then do another 6 if you wish to. Very good. Okay, again, if you wanted to, you could have easily done it standing, of course. As you can see, you can just adapt this exercise whichever way you prefer. Lovely. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is the ball squeeze. Keeping that back nice and straight, that tummy's in and tense, feet on the floor, nice and stable. Your elbows are out, ball is in between your hands, and we squeeze. Very good, that's it, perfect. So just trying to squeeze that ball in and release. Keeping that tummy in, back is straight, maintaining that good posture here, and keep going. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to adjust the angle. We're going to place the ball on top of our palm, and the other hand was going to be on top, and then squeeze this way. Now you'll notice that different parts of your arms are working in here, but we're making sure that back is still straight, that tummy's in, and keep squeezing. Very good. Okay, if you're feeling your arms are getting a little bit tired, please do stop at any point, or just pause the video, have a little break, have that glass of water, and then you can always come back to it. Okay, now switch, and then keep squeezing. Wonderful, that's it, keep going until we switch to the next exercise. So we're squeezing that ball in your hands. Very good, lovely, perfect. Okay, now we're going to be bringing the other ball back. So you pick your second ball back from the floor, and we're going to be working on both balls at the same time. Again, if you like, you can do this standing or stay seated, whichever way you prefer. Okay, now with this next exercise, just focus on my fingers. Here we'll be squeezing the ball 2 fingers at a time. So working each finger, so from your thumb down to your pinky. You'll notice there is a different difficulty level here, but just make sure you give it a go. Give it a try. It doesn't always work out perfect, but it's all about trying. Very good. Okay, now if your arms are feeling a little bit tired, you can always lower them down, or even put them down on the lap if you're being seated, and keep squeezing. Also, if you like, you can do it one-handedly, and just focus on that squeeze on each finger. Go a couple of times up and down, and then switch yourself to the other hand. Very good, and keep squeezing. Wonderful. Okay. Now, again, if you're seated or standing, we're going to be rolling the ball up and down on your lap. Now, to show you this exercise standing, very easily, we're going to be keeping these knees slightly bent here, back is straight, the tummy's in, and we roll down and up. Okay, very good. So this is the standing option for here. And if you're staying seated, just keep rolling up and down towards your knee and back to your hip. Wonderful, very good. Good attempt so far. Okay, now we're going to move to be using one ball. So we'll be setting one ball aside. I'll place it on the floor. Okay, and this ball we'll be placing in between our knees, keeping that back straight, that tummy's in and tense. You're going to bring your feet close together. That ball is there in between your knees. You can place your hands on your hips or just on your legs there, and you squeeze the ball with your legs. Very good. Keep maintaining that posture. Wonderful, very good. Keep going. There's certainly a big level of coordination here required because that ball wants to just roll down towards the floor. So just make sure you're holding it in with your knees and it should just stay there. Very good, and keep going. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to pick up the other ball from the floor and we're going to work with two balls. We're going to place them both on the floor like so, underneath your feet. Okay, so in here we're going to work either both feet at the same time and roll the ball underneath. Okay, so you might want to hold yourself onto the chair for this one if you like, if it's easier for you, of course, and keep rolling. Or if that proves too difficult, just try one foot at a time and just roll backwards and forwards. Okay, so let's just try with one foot at a time. Let's repeat 6 times. 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. Okay, and now try the other foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. Now, if you're standing, you can also perform this exercise, but as I mentioned before, it's very good if you could hold yourself onto a chair for this one, or you can practice your balance here. So however you're feeling today and whatever your strength is and ability, please adapt in here. So if you were to do it with one foot, make sure you're steady with one foot and then the other one is rolling up and down like so. Wonderful. And then after 6 times you can switch to the other foot. Very good. Wonderful. Good. Okay, now after the rolling, we're going to squeeze these balls with our feet. So first of all, we'll be placing our heel on the floor, both feet. I'll show the seated version first and then standing. So the ball is underneath your toes, heel is down on the floor, back's nice and straight, tummy's in, and you squeeze the ball with your toes. Okay, that's it, very good. Give it a go. Wonderful. Okay, and now we're going to roll the ball towards the back of your foot. So now the ball is underneath your heels and the toes are on the floor. Okay, make yourself comfortable. I'm sitting more towards the edge of the chair just simply because I'm quite short, but if your legs are much longer than mine, just make sure you're seated comfortably on your chair there. Okay, so again, we're squeezing with our heels. The balls are underneath the heels, toes are on the floor. Okay, staying seated, back is straight, tummy's in, and we squeeze. Wonderful. Let's do it 6 times and stop. Now you can repeat another 6 if you're seated. Now if you're standing, this is what you'll be doing. We'll be working 1 foot at a time. Okay, if it's the front squeeze, so your heel will be on the floor and your toe will be squeezing. So you can place your hands on your hips here, make sure your posture is steady here, back is straight, and squeeze with that front foot. Okay, so squeeze with your toes. Nice and gently, very good. Now you can do that 6 times, stop and repeat again. Then switch to the other foot. Heel on the floor, toes on the ball, and squeeze. Very good. 5 and 6. Good. And now again you can do the same, having your ball on your heel here and keep squeezing. Very good. So you're almost staying supported with your toes here and just pressing on the ball with your heels. Very good. And then switch to the other foot. Very good. 4 and 5. Wonderful, very good. Lovely. So this was a very good set for different types of exercises with the stress balls. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, as I mentioned before, please do adjust to whichever way you feel today is most suitable for you. If you would like to do it seated or standing or mixture of both, you have a very good variety here. And also the repetition, it's advisable to go for about 6 times and then have a stop and then start again. And I hope you enjoyed those. Now after that little warm up with the stress balls, we're going to move on to our resistance bands. I'm going to be working on a green one today. You might have a different color at home, but it doesn't matter. You can always adapt the frequency and the intensity to whatever you wish today. Okay, so I'll be showing the exercise in 2 versions, seated and standing, and you can have your pick or variate whichever way you feel is best for you today. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the seated version. So we're going to be placing the band behind our back like so. Our backs will be staying straight, our tummies in and tense, our knees are aligned with the body, approximately hip width apart. The band will go underneath our arms, not over here, that just makes it uncomfortable. Make it underneath. Now hold both ends. If your band is a little bit longer than mine, then your ends will be probably sticking at the front here, but it doesn't matter whichever way. Just make it comfortable for yourself. Okay, so we're going to be performing a chest press, front and in. Good, let's try 6 times. Push, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now if you're standing, you're doing the same thing, having these knees a little bit bent here, tummies in, back is straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Wonderful, very good. Okay, now the next band exercise will be a little bit more stretching, but also the resistance. So we're going to be keeping that band there behind our back. We're going to stretch arms in front all the way out and then stretch them out to the sides and then bring them back in. Okay, now try to repeat 6 times. 1, if you're standing, do the same thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to go for another repetition of 6. Again, if you're standing, keeping these knees slightly flexed here, that tummy is in, back is straight, arms in front, stretch to the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Wonderful. Okay. Now, the next thing we'll be doing is working on one arm at a time. So we're going to be grabbing one end of the band. Now place that hand on your lap, on your leg there. Hold that band down. And now the other arm is going to be going up. Very good. And then down. So just in front of yourself, keeping that back straight, that tummy in, and take it back down. So please notice this motion is quite slow. You don't want to rush here. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wonderful, very good. Okay, now we're going to switch the arm. If you're seated, stay seated. If you're standing, you're doing the same thing. Switch to the other arm. Put one hand on your leg and stretch in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wonderful. Very good. Okay, good. Right, now the next exercise we're going to do is going to be also for the upper body and the band stretch. So we'll be placing the band behind the back like we did at the beginning. So get yourself comfortable and ready. And then we're going to be holding our band with both hands on both ends like so. Our elbows will be close to the body like so. And we'll just be working the forearm. Okay, so both arms. Now if you're standing, do the same thing. If you're seated, maintain the same posture. We're going to be bringing that forearm in, closing and opening. So it's not my arm that's going, it's just the forearm. Elbows are staying close in one position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wonderful, very good. Okay. Now we're going to come back to one hand at a time. So similar to our previous exercise, but we're going to change the angle this time. So one hand on the leg, whether you're standing or seated. And we're going to be stretching the arm to the side as far as you can. So it's not the up and down movement anymore. It's slightly angled to the side like so. Very good. Let's try 6 times. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wonderful. And now switch your arm. So that hand going back on your knee. We're working on the other arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wonderful, very good. Okay, let's move to our bicep curl. Okay, so for this exercise, we will be either staying seated or standing again. I'm going to show you the seated version first. So we're going to be placing the band underneath our legs, like so. Keeping that back straight, the tummy's in, sitting tall. We're going to hold the band with both hands. Okay, elbows will stay close to the body, and just the forearm will be working, and pulling the pulling the band up towards your chest, and then down. We're not going all the way down. We're just going at the 90-degree angle here. I'll show you slightly from the side so you can see better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wonderful. Now if you're staying seated, continue with another 6. Have a break and then try another session of 6. Now if you're standing, we're going to do a slightly different version. So we're going to be placing one foot in front, so one foot in the band, the other one is slightly to the back, back is straight, that tummy's in, elbows close to your body, just like this, just the same positioning as if you were seated on a chair. And then the forearm is coming back up, and then 90-degree angle, not all the way down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good, wonderful. Now you can repeat that another 6 times if you wish. Now we're going to move on to our core. So we're going to work on that belly a little. So just a few exercises for the tummy muscles here. We're going to take our band, fold it in half like so. You're going to hold both ends. Okay. Now bring it close to your chest. Elbows are tucked in. Tummy in. Back is straight. And we're going to be bending down towards the floor as far as you can go. I'm going to go all the way to my knees, but you don't have to, just go as far as you can go. And then come back up. Okay, let's try to do it 3 times. Band, close in, elbows tucked in, that tummy's tense, back is nice and straight, holding on to both ends, and bend down, straighten back up. Wonderful, maintain that posture. Down, 2, and 1 more. That's our 3, not 6. Right, okay. Now, the standing version, very similar. We're going to be spreading our legs slightly further apart here. Our knees are flexed here, they're not locked in. Now, holding the band, the same positioning as if you were, just as what we've just done on the chair. And we're going to be bending down. We come back up. 2, let's go for 3, and 3. Wonderful. Okay. The next exercise will be a little body twist, so we'll be working on our upper body again. Now whether you're standing or seated, we'll be focusing on that upper body. So first of all, keeping the back straight, the tummy's in. Bring that band in close to your chest, just like we did before with the bending down. And we're going to turn to one side and then go all the way across to the other way. There, very good. So make sure you're not doing it too quickly. We want it to be a nice and smooth motion here. Very good. Wonderful. Okay, very good. Now, if you're standing, obviously it will be exactly the same. I'll just show you quickly the same variation here. These knees are nice and flexy here. Tummy's in, back is straight, holding that band close, and just turning to the side. So there isn't really a great deal of difference apart from standing and seated. It's exactly the same motion because we are working that upper body. Okay, right, lovely. And now we're going to finish off with our leg slides. So actually for this one, it's probably best to do it seated. So grab hold of that chair if you're standing. We're going to be placing our band underneath our feet, right in front. Okay. Make sure you're steady there, back staying straight, that tummy's in and tense. We're going to hold on to the band very closely to our chest here. Okay, elbows are tucked in, and very slowly we're going to push the band out with our both legs and then bring them back in. So you'll notice that there will be a change in the angle of your body, so you'll be pushing yourself slightly to the back and then coming back in straight. Okay, let's try 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wonderful, very good. And this is your core exercise. And now we're going to be moving on to our legs and the lower body. Now we are on to our lower body, a little bit of a core and leg exercise using our resistant bands. Now I quite like to have a slightly longer band when I work on the lower body. If you do have maybe 2 bands that are slightly shorter, you can always tie them in the middle to make it a little bit longer. Just whatever makes you feel the most comfortable using the equipment, or if you like it the way it is, just keep it as is, of course. Right, so I'll be trying to show you both versions so you can perform the exercise standing and seated. So just follow the cues, and I'm sure you can adapt it as you see what I do. Okay, so I will start from the feet tapping. So again, little reminder, keeping that back nice and straight, that tummy is in. If you wish to stop at any point or you're feeling dizzy, please do so. Maybe take a sip of a drink, have a little break, and then you can always come back or stop and start the video at whichever point you wish. Okay, so we're going to be placing the band underneath our feet like so. Okay. Very good. Make yourself comfortable. And we start with a simple tapping. We're going to try to repeat 6 times first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wonderful, very good, okay. And now we're going to be lifting our legs inside the band. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's a little routine if you like. So tapping first, then lifting, and now we're going to go very gently to both sides. So it's a little coordination. Good, okay. And now I'm going to show you standing. Now standing version of this exercise with the tapping. Keeping that back nice and straight, that tummy's in. Now stay steady on your heels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wonderful. And the step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now 1, 2, 1, 2. Wonderful, very good. It's just a little routine to start you off here. Very good, wonderful. Little coordination session. Okay, now we're going to move on to having our band tight around our legs. So tie your legs with your band so it's nice and strong in there. You can make it looser if you like, so just adjust it to whichever way feels most comfortable. I quite like it quite tight, so I'll keep it there. Now if your band is sliding, just keep those hands in here and it will just keep it in place. You should be absolutely fine. Okay, so we're going to start with the leg lift first of all. So being seated, keeping that back nice and straight, that tummy's in, and we're going to lift one leg at a time. 3, 4, 5, 6. Have a little break, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wonderful. Now if you're standing, you can do the same, but you're going to be slightly bent in here, okay, so that you can still hold on to that band. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have a break, keeping back straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. Now we're going to try and stretch the band to the sides. So we're going to work one leg at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have a little break, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wonderful, very good. Now if you're staying seated, carry on with the same exercise. You can do another couple of sessions of 6 at whichever speed you like. You can slow down or speed up, whichever way feels most comfortable for you. Now for those who are standing, again, keeping that band around our legs, you might want to bring it up slightly so you can reach it. Now we're going to sit slightly, so it's almost like sticking the bottom out a little bit, so adjusting that posture, that back stays straight, that tummy's in. Okay, and when you're ready, you'll be stepping to the side, 2 steps, 2 steps, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Wonderful, very good. You can repeat this as many times as you like. You can maybe count 30 seconds and then have a little break and then go another 30 seconds, so you have a full minute of the same exercise. Wonderful. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is a little bit more leg stretching in the band. So staying seated first, back is straight, the tummy's in, sitting nice and tall. We're going to work on one leg at a time. Okay, so grab hold of your band, that foot is in the band, and we'll be stretching our foot in front, touching the heel down, and then bringing it back in. Heel touch and in. Okay, let's try 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Now if you're staying seated, please do so and switch to the other foot and do the stretch. So repeat the stretch but on the other legs. Go 6 times. And now I'm going to show the standing version. So maintaining that posture, keeping that back straight, that tummy's in, keeping steady on your feet. Grab hold of your band, keeping these elbows close. Okay, keeping that body steady and strong. And we're going to go front and step in. Front, in. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. And then change your foot. Now if you're staying seated, keep going with the repetition and the step in, step out. If you're standing, just follow what I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wonderful. Very good. Beautiful. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is sort of combining the core exercise with the legs. So very similar to what we did towards the end of the core session. Keeping that back nice and straight, that tummy's in. And we're going to put both feet in the band. Okay, we're going to keep hold of the band very closely again. Elbows are close to the body. Very good. Okay, and now stretch both feet out like so. Okay, and now we're going to take one leg in and lift it up, and then the other one. So you're lifting your knees and maintaining that band at the bottom there. So the band is there and we are just lifting the knee. So there is no pressure on the knee at the top. It just stays down there. So it's a little bit of a coordination as well as resistance here. Okay, engaging that core at the same time. So let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Okay, now if you're standing, you can obviously try and replicate that. So we're standing in the band, keeping that band down on the floor, keeping the upper body engaged as well as the core by holding those elbows in and having a good grip on that band so it's nicely stretched there. And lift the knee up and take it back down. So it's a good balancing act here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Wonderful. Well done. And that was our lower body with the band. A few examples of the exercises. I hope you enjoyed that. This last part of the exercise workout, we're going to use our spiky balls. So it's probably good to use them towards maybe the end of your exercise as a form of a cool down and maybe even a stretch, whichever way you wish to take your workout. So first of all, we've got the 2 spiky balls. We're going to be using them both at the same time and one at a time throughout, and we will be staying seated. So we're going to be placing both balls on our legs and we roll them up and down to start with. Just both at the same time. Very good. So nice and relaxing now. We're not rushing. Very good. And now one at a time. Very good. Lovely. Okay, now going to place one ball on the floor and we're just going to be using one for the next thing. We're just going to roll the ball in between our hands. Go one way, another, in a circle, up and down. You can go to the sides. Just take whichever direction you wish. You probably experience a tingling sensation on your hands and it's a nice little massage really. Okay, now we're going to roll the ball up from the bottom to the top of our hand to the tips of our fingers, create a bridge and then take it back down. Lovely. Repeat, over and down. Okay, and now switch the hand and down, over and down. Lovely. Okay, now put your palm flat out and the ball is going to be going in the right middle of it, and we're going to create a motion of a ripple. So you're going to start with a little circle in the middle and then grow bigger until you reach the edge of your hand, tips of your fingers. That's it, a big rotation, and then come back in a circle again, in the right middle. Okay, and now we're going to switch to the other hand. Place the ball in the right middle of your palm. Start with a little circle first, and then grow it wider and further until you reach the edge of your hand, so you can reach the tips of your fingers, and then come back in again until you reach the middle to finish off. Very good, wonderful. Okay, and now the next thing will be bending down towards the floor. So we're going to use those for a little bit of a stretch, but also carry on with the sensation using those wonderful spikes here. Okay, so in here, only go as far as you can. I'll go all the way down towards the floor, but if you can go only halfway in, please do so. So just make sure you adapt this exercise to whatever strength you have and ability. Okay, so we're going to be stretching the hands out in front and then bending very slowly down towards the floor, or only as far as you can go. And then once you're at your furthest point, you're going to place the balls down and then roll them back up alongside your body until you reach your hips. Very good. Now from the hips, you're going to roll them on the sides of your body, up towards your neck, and then along your face, and we're going to end up on the head. Very good. Okay, we're going to repeat. Balls out in front. Now very slowly bend down as far as you can go, and at your furthest point, come back to your body, place the balls on your body, and then roll them back up along towards your hips, and then across your belly, and then towards your neck, along your face, and we're going to finish off on our head. So we're really having a little massage. It's all about the sensation and a cool down. Okay, now to finish off with, we're going to move on to our feet. So for the next part, I would like you to try and take off if you're wearing shoes, take them off. If you're wearing slippers, take them off, and either do the next bit with your bare feet or in your socks. So I'm going to take my shoes off. We're going to place the balls on the floor in front of us. Very good. And now you're going to place your feet on the balls. Okay. Now start from your toes and then roll down towards your heels. You'll feel this lovely sensation. It's almost like a little tickle. It's a really lovely way to finish off. Have a little roll, one foot at a time, in and out, go around to the sides. So you're basically having a little foot massage to finish off with, which is always a really lovely way to finish off any type of an exercise. That's what I always say anyway. Okay, wonderful. You can make it as long as you like. If you find it very enjoyable, just carry on. If it's a little bit too sensitive, if your feet are too sensitive, you don't have to carry on for too long, of course. Only do it for as long as it feels comfortable and enjoyable, of course. That is it for today's workout. Thank you so much for joining me with the exercises. I hope you enjoyed it. I try to give you very good variety there. Please don't feel that you need to do the full routine each time. I just wanted to give you good variation there, so you can have your pick and choose whichever ones you like the most, and then repeat it in your own order, in your own intensity. And also don't forget to make sure that you can stop and start the video at any point, and then always resume and come back to the exercise after you've had a little rest, little break, maybe have a little drink. Maintain that posture, keeping that back straight, that tummy in and tense. If you're seated, just follow in routine with the seated exercise. If you're standing, again, pick your standing exercises or variate between the both, whichever way feels most comfortable and enjoyable. And that's it for today. So goodbye from me for now, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell